We're making millions of dollars here.
This is the Avengers of host clubs. The entire host club's out for this one. I think I've joined a cult or something. I don't know what's happening. Sake nomimashou.
Just over 4 years ago when I first moved to Japan, I was lucky enough to get access to film and try becoming a host in Japan. For those who are unfamiliar, host clubs are businesses that offer women the full boyfriend experience, from casual chatting to flirting, and sometimes even more. And although the idea of women paying men to flirt with them in a club is a bit of an alien concept to us in the Western world, in Japan women pay up to tens of thousands of dollars to support their host of choice. And looking back at my first visit, if I had to describe it in just one word, disaster would probably be it. Not only did I not know any Japanese, but I quite frankly knew nothing about Japanese culture and especially host club etiquette. 4 years later, and I've been covering various aspects of Japanese culture, and my Japanese has gone from beyond terrible to just terrible. So naturally, when Reito, one of Japan's top hosts, contacted me, asking if I wanted to become a host once again myself and learn from him, I couldn't say no. But of course, sadly, the beard had to go.
Just a fair bit of warning. I have to shave, so if I look like a 2-year-old, that's not a different Connor. It's still me. I forgot to do this before I got in the bath as well, so we've already started.
Once I was finished mourning for my loss, I got my nicest JoJo suit and got myself down to Kabukicho, Japan's seediest area with a cornucopia of nightlife entertainment options. And without wasting any time, I was thrown into the streets to make my way to a salon to get what little I had left of my hair made to look nice. Hi there, I'm here to tell you about today's video sponsor, Ark Knights. Ark Knights is a strategic RPG with an immersive story and refined art design. Players will assume the role of the Doctor in the world where the oropathy disease possesses the utmost menace. The Doctors command operators to combat antagonists while endeavoring to discover a remedy for the ailment. And Arknights Global is setting the stage ablaze with its spectacular 4.5 anniversary festivities. Spotlighting the thrilling Hear a People Sows limited event, the event runs from July 31st to August 28th. And of course, with every new event, it means more characters to unlock. But one of my personal favorites is Shu. Shu is a limited character and much more popular among players. She's also a top-tier operator, a high-stat guardian capable of both healing and tanking. As a supporter, her trait allows her to heal allies by using skills, and additionally, her talents enhance this by planting seeds on the allies tile and the 4 adjacent tiles whenever she heals. And you won't be able to pull for her for at least another year, so make sure you do it now. And there's also Sola, who's a guard character who self-heals. But don't forget about Grainbuds, a brand new 5-star operator, another supporter that allows her to deal arts damage and slow the target for a short time. And there's also Wang Xing. As a vanguard, his talents boost the max HP of all allies in the 8 surrounding tiles. During the event, you can get Wang Xing for free. And there's also more valuable rewards, including furniture, headhunting permits, elite materials, LMD, and other benefits. So what are you waiting for? Get Arknights today by smashing my link in the description down below. Arknights is now available on iOS and Android. Download Arknights to get all these beautiful characters now. Thank you to Arknights for sponsoring this video.
Good.
And as we walk into the salon, it's pretty obvious right away that everybody knows Reito.
You got noticed like while walking in the street.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It must be famous around here. All right, come on in.
And a lot of the staff were immediately puzzled as to why I walked in there. And luckily, I got some insights into how a host thinks. As a guy who does not like his hair getting done, I wanted to know if he gets it done every single day.
Anthony, 면도ksai. 면도ksai.
And of course, I'm not alone in this adventure. I had to bring my wingman along, Kaho.
Usually they have bangs. That's very Japanese style.
Okay, I'll do bangs. Let's do it.
Obviously, I wanted to know more about Reito and why he became a host.
お金稼げると思いました。
本当に。
As I know from my past experience, you don't start out making a lot of money from this.
始めたばっかりはもう本当月3万円とかです。
3万?
3万円。
3万?
始めたばっかり。18歳の時とか。
For reference, that is over 10 times lower the average salary in Japan. Naturally, I wanted to know how long he lived on this salary for.
半年ぐらいですね。もうだからお店で寝たりとか、あと電車賃なかったり。
Is that common for hosts?
よくあると思います。
I also wanted to know if there was any advice he could give me to be a better host.
諦めない。Never give up.
One aspect of being a host that is often overlooked is how much alcohol you have to drink. As the more you drink, the more you can charge the customer. But that has to take a toll on your body, right?
きついっすね。であと僕でもあんまお酒飲まないです。
Really? Oh yeah, because the junior drinks. I forgot about that. The last time I did this, there was a system where the newer hosts would drink for the more older and higher earning hosts. Is that still the same?
そうっすね。そうそうそう。
I also wanted to know what type of questions I should ask the customers.
顔でいけると思います。
顔で
顔がかっこいいんで。
Often as a customer of a host club, if you spend enough money on your host, you can get a date with them. So naturally, I asked Reito how much it would cost for me to get a date with him.
その自分の人生をかけないとできないです。
Your life.
Wow, wow.
I was also curious to know how Reito's parents felt about him being a host.
最初はあんまよく思ってなかったんじゃないですかね、やっぱり。ただやっぱ慣れてくるっす。あと僕結構一生懸命頑張ってるんで、そこがでかいかなと思うんですね。真面目に頑張ってればどの仕事でも僕の家族が受け入れてくれるタイプだったんで。
And before I knew it, my hair was ready. And I have to say, definitely an improvement on last time.
That's so much hairspray.
俺めっちゃかけるんですよ。
Oh my.
めっちゃかけるん
I
です
could
よ。
pull out a stone. I could pull out a sword out of that stone. But that's the entire can. Oh my god. I need a gas mask. Yama. Cool. Lung cancer is cool apparently now. Alright, hair's done, let's go to the club. Just make an Instagram post, and the guy's helping him put my name in. I'm not helping, I'm just like standing there like, how ridiculous do I look?
You look 12.
Oh.
On our way back to the host club, me and Reito-san were talking about the types of food that we like. And he mentioned something that I thought was kind of interesting.
ガーリック好き。
Garlic, so.
でも仕事で全然食べれないんですよ。そう
Do you have any advice for me to be a good host?
気持ちいいっすね。気持ちいい。
Kimochi? Okay. Osake, takusan no osake. Kimochi. Smile?
そうそうそう。
How's my smile? Do?
And although I didn't know what to do with my face, I did know what to do with my body. I was simply there to support the support who supported Reito. Within seconds of entering the club, I was introduced to Maker, one of Reito's top customers, which of course didn't make me nervous in the slightest. And while each customer's face is blurred for privacy, I can assure you that initially, every single one of them seemed quite apprehensive about this new random white boy who just turned up to interview them in the club. But naturally, Reito had no time to waste offering drinks to get the conversation moving.
美味しいですか日本のお酒って。
そう簡単なの飲み物そう
イギリスだと何が有名なの？
ビール
ビール。
ビール
ビールとこれと。
そうでビールはちょっと太るねなりました
But of course, I wanted to be a good support too, so I tried to get the conversation flowing.
何お酒は好きですか
僕はシャンパンです。
シャンパンもちろんお金の持ちテストね飲み物は好きなんですか
And within 0.3 seconds, I had already made a critical mistake, asking questions that maybe were a bit too personal.
仕事は何をしますか大丈夫
ホストクラブってなんか仕事を
はい
聞くのは一応ダメなんですけど。
本当に
And I apologized 1 million times, and Reito assured me it was fine.
ノープロブレム、ノープロブレム。全然大丈夫。
However, Reito also did give some interesting insight into the types of customers that come to host clubs.
ね、基本的にホストクラブに来る子っていう女の子は夜職が多いです。夜の仕事してる人が多い。なんかこう、そうですね、ホストクラブに来る女の子、キャバ嬢とか風俗が多いです。
わかりました。
メンズ女です。メンズエステ。ちょっとエッチなマッサージ。
ちょっとエッチ
But of course, there was no time to waste when shots are on the table. And don't forget, the customer pays for every single drink at a premium. But whilst I was busy destroying my body, Reito, not so much.
僕はこれはレモンティーです。
レモン
はい。
He's drinking lemon tea.
What? 嘘つき裏切り者裏切り者
飲めない。僕お酒飲めないんですよ。
Why is he getting his stomach out? So he drinks for him, and that's why he's blaming he's fat.
彼は中学高校の友達で、ここの首に僕の右腕って意味でこれ右腕って入ってるんですよ。
They're such good friends that he even got a tattoo saying wingman in French on his neck. Before we wrapped up the conversation, the customer did mention something interesting.
ホストあんま興味なくて、多分初回巡りで行く人もいるじゃん。なんか今回そのナミちゃんとか出てきて、なんかホストでなんか有名な。それを見てたら、たまたまレイト君が初回で出てきて行くようになったから、その時ホスト興味ないです。SNS 見てそう。
そうそう、
Oh,
YouTube
that's pretty interesting.
YouTube で。
And so it was time for us to finish our drinks and move to the next customer.
That was a fun first start. I think went pretty well. She was definitely a bit nervous at the start. I think she was a bit precarious. But I think we got it going.
She was very, very outgoing and nice.
I think initially she was like, who's this guy? Oh, he speaks a little bit of Japanese. Okay, we'll work it. But you should keep that going and speak to more customers. And find out more about hosts.
Find out more we do, because our next customer was Momo, a regular here at Club AXEL. And luckily for me, talking to Momo was a lot easier because of one key difference. She likes anime.
ここみんなアニメ好きだから。
本当に？
チームオタク。
チーム
いや。
チーム秋葉原。
乾杯。
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 何のアニメが好き？ジョジョ。
ジョジョと呪術廻戦。
おお、呪術廻戦。
アニメは何好き？
ラブライブとかわかる。
あ、ラブライブもちろん。
ラブライブめっちゃ好き。
本当に？
あ、推しは誰ですか？
推しはね、ニコちゃん。
ニックニックニ
いや、もちろん。音楽、歌好き。
あ、歌めっちゃ好き。
本当に？
ゲームめっちゃやってた。
おお、上手？
ぼちぼち。嬉しい。
おお、よかったね。
ジョジョはね、ジョルノ・ジョバーナしかわかんない。
本当？このスーツはジョンのジョバーナ。
おお、すごい。
そう。
本当だ。
A shout out once again to the JoJo suit for carrying me in life.
いいホストはなりますか？
なんだろう。心遣いとかかな。気遣い。
でもね、多分一番仲良くなれるんじゃないかなっていう。
仲良くなれそう。オタクだから。
優しい優しい。
チームオタク。
あ、
チームオタク。
チームオタク。よろしく。
イエーイ。
悪い人いない。
悪い人いない。みんないい人。
よかった。
そう。
このクラブは何年ぐらい行きますか？
あ、私が通ってるの？2年半ぐらい。なんか友達がここに通ってて一緒に行ってみないみたいなノリで初めて来てみたいな。友達の指名してた人がもう辞めちゃって。
なるほど。
なんでこのクラブは好きですか？
なんか私の指名してる人水木レイトって言うんですけど、でなんか一目惚れみたいな感じでずっと。
Love at first sight. Now that's quite a strong statement, yet I can't say I'm surprised given how the business model works. It's easy to walk into a host club for cheap drinks and be surrounded by some handsome guys and pick your favorite to pamper you for the night. And as Reito said before, a host is also heavily encouraged to keep up relationships with their customers outside of the club. So especially in times when people are less and less interested in the uncertainties of dating, romance as a service starts sounding more and more appealing for young women.
私も緊張してる。めっちゃ緊張してる。
同じ。やばいやばい。
でもめっちゃ楽しい。
本当に？あ、よかった。
ぽい。できると思う絶対。
できます？
だってかっこいいよ。
お、優しい。
イケメン。
全然。
しかもスーツがめっちゃ似合う。本当に似合う。
多分日本人よりスーツ全然似合います。
全然似合う。なんかカラースーツがめっちゃ似合う。
And although the suit was carrying me, nothing could save me from this question.
イギリスだと何が有名？
フィッシュ&チップス。
フライだよね。
そう、イギリス食べ物は全部のフライ。
あ、全部揚げてあるんだイギリス。
そう。
美味しい。
そう、美味しい。超美味しい。
カロリーが高ければ高いほど美味しい。
いや、そう。
And after I stalled long enough, Reito came back to the table, where Kaho asked Momo a question.
レイトさんのどんなところが好きかを教えてもらってもいいですか？顔。はい。顔ね。
And right before we were about to finish up at this table, I guess because we had cameras, they wanted to show off some of their very expensive vodka.
What the?
すごい。めっちゃ
What is
めっ
this?
ちゃ可愛い。
何それ
This is the Imperial Collection vodka from Latvia, which would normally set you back a couple of $1,000s. However, in this host club, it costs...
これ総額だと1000万近いです。
What? Huh? And as it turns out, that's just one of the many items clients can buy to support their hosts. There are tons of decorative bottles, custom champagnes, champagne towers, and champagne cores to choose from that can get ridiculously expensive. Needless to say, I was terrified to touch or go near these items as I did not want that bill.
Every part of my British ancestry is telling me to take this back home to a museum right now. このお酒、美味しい？
いや飲んだことないですね僕は。
Oh my gosh.
オーマイガッシュって言った。ネイティブ。
いや、イギリス人です。
ありがとうございます。貴重なもの見せていただいてありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。じゃあ、
ありがとうございます。
お邪魔しました。
That was lucky. That was good. There was an anime. There was a common connection there. I can talk for hours. How am I doing so far?
I think it's going great and customers are so welcoming welcoming and great.
Yeah.
You're so sweet.
One thing I've learned is that if you speak even a little bit of Japanese, it goes a long way.
Right? Like they really appreciate that you're trying.
All right, next up we're gonna drink with a half British host.
That's right, at this host club there is a half British, half Japanese man named Furan. And drinking with him is Maya, a more casual host club customer.
Why is there so many? Is this how many you drink in one night?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I drink more than this.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a lie. Bye-bye.
似合ってるね、スーツとかね。
似合ってる。
お、優しい。このスーツはアニメのスーツ。
アニメの？
そう、ジョジョ。ジョジョです。そう。
One thing that I've learned in life is that you need to own a JoJo suit. It is the ultimate icebreaker.
このクラブは何年ぐらい行きますか？
トータルで言ったら、半年以上か。半年ぐらい。
I also wanted to know how she found out about the club.
あ、それこそ YouTube。
フランさんが出てるの見たことあるんですけど。
日本語喋れないやつ。あれ本当にもう恥ずかしいあれ。
In the video that I saw, he was pretending he could only speak English.
How did that go?
Some girls came and I was speaking in Japanese and 日本語喋れるの？当たり前やろ。
だから初回で来て、多分初回ついてくれた時に、あ、見たことあると思って喋れないと思ってきたらペラッペラ。あれみたいな。しかも博多弁みたいな。
How many would you drink in a night if you had to guess?
I think I can drink 24.
No, you don't. You would be dead.
Afterwards,
お腹持つのやめな。
No, I'm getting hungover looking at all this. Yeah. イギリスは行ったことがありますか？
ないです。日本から出たことない。
本当に？
イギリス行かんとね。
イギリス行く。
めっちゃ行って
逆に
みたい。
イギリスで何したらいいかっていうの気になるけどね。
確かに。何したらいい？
That is a question that scientists are still struggling to answer.
Football.
Yeah, football.
アストンビラを見に行く。
アストンビラとお酒。パブは行きます。
でもスコーン食べたい。
スコーン美味しい。超美味しい。
ちなみにホストクラブは他のところにも行ったりされてますか？
行ってないです。
で何？お、she's loyal to this place.
If I wanted to become a good host, how do I get better?
女の子とちゃんと向き合うこと。お金として見るんじゃなくて、一人の人として見ることが結局長続きすると思う。
なるほど。
It's not cheap to drink.
I know, yeah. How much would one of these cost a customer?
2 cans, about 3,000 yen.
So these 2 cans that you could buy from a convenience store for $1 are $15 here. Obviously that giant markup is why host clubs are so lucrative.
The girls pay a lot of money to see us, so we have to be
Charming, yeah.
Right, hospitality. You
Yeah.
have to stay back.
一回みんなで飲もうか。
Cheers, goodbye. We've spoken to a few customers now. Everything's moving very fast. I don't really get a moment to process anything. It's kind of like, hey, go here, go here, go here. But they just told me they were going to be doing a champagne call, which I do remember last time, but I wonder if it's different. Because last time they just waterboarded me with champagne. I wonder if it's going to be the same thing. But they keep asking me if I'm okay, which I don't know what that means. Should I not be okay? Did they poison me? We'll find out. It's so tough. I'm also like trying to do my job as a host good to try and earn their trust, but also I'm trying to ask you questions. But it's hard because everyone's very reserved and I'm trying to crack people open a little bit, but we'll get there. We're getting some good questions in. It's all about just building a bit of rapport first. Ultimately, I'm there to support the host, you know. I'm not there to be the star.
And whilst I was busy recovering from the copious amounts of alcohol I've had so far, Baran came to talk to me.
How long have you been here for? How long have you been working here?
About 1 year. My best friend used to work here.
And he was like, hey, you'll make a ton of money, come.
He was asking me,
Really?
you should do it. You can do it.
I mean, you seem like a natural. How do you like get that relationship going?
If they come to the host club,
Yeah.
just that time together, then they won't come back again. So we have to keep in touch.
So you like get their line or something and you text? How many dates do you go on like a week, do you think?
Everybody they do it.
Every day? Wow. Do you ever get bored? Or is it like autopilot? You're like, oh, it's another date, I know.
Get bored. You want to stay home?
Yeah. You have to pay for everything, right? Yeah, because then they pay at the club.
Pay here.
That's interesting. I would take them to Torikizoku, really cheap night.
They quite like that. You know,
They do?
Sometimes we don't have to go to a posh restaurant.
Okay. Posh. That's such a British word. That's such a British word. We'll hang out more. I'll come to the club more. I'll just talk.
We should go get a drink after.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. That'd be fun. Let's do it. I'd love to. Cheers. Appreciate it.
You've been doing great.
Am I doing good?
He has been telling me that you're being so
Really?
So good.
But before I knew it, it was time for a champagne call. If you watched the previous video, you might have seen it's a little hectic. Now, if you thought those cheap convenience store drinks were marked up, just wait until you hear how much the champagne costs.
最低で日本円で12万から
Oh.
Okay, that's not too bad.
That's like the lowest though.
一番高いは、いくらですか？
も無限
As much as you want to go. Okay. What's the most expensive champagne tower or champagne thing you've seen?
2000万
What? That is 130,000 US dollars. I'm in the wrong job. But before we knew it, it was time.
Oh my god.
I have zero idea what I'm supposed to be doing. And for some reason, they decided to give me the mic.
じゃあ、お酒飲みましょうか。
I do not like this.
はい、シャンパンありがとうございます。本当に。Thank you very much。僕のお姫様は、先月が200、200、150をね、こう1ヶ月コンスタントに使っていただいて、200万、200万、150万という大きな数字をね、連続でこう使ってくれてるんで、本当に感謝してます。
Yes, you read that correctly. This customer spent between 12 and 16,000 US dollars last month at the club. And although I obviously can't explain this fully in a very short amount of time, but a lot of the customers really do give everything they have to the hosts. Even though minutes before this they were talking with another customer, and we'll talk to another customer right after this. It's something that is just such a foreign concept to us in the Western world.
イギリスの女性の方、もし僕を見て、よかったなと。思いましたらぜひクラブアクセルの水木レイトに来ていただければ。
飲んでみますか。
何？
グイグイグイグイグイグイよし来いグイグイ。おー。
ありがとうございます。美味しかった。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。I'm sweating. There was a lot of energy. They were shouting at my face. I was about to cry. But then I realized, oh no, wait, I get to drink alcohol. This is great. It is crazy to think that that person spent $10,000 for what was probably my nightmare. 20 dudes pressure me into saying something and drinking champagne. I just can't fathom having that much money and spending it on this.
You spend a lot on crane games, so
Okay,
yeah,
well,
you're not the one to judge. Come on.
I think overall I've spent like double that on crane games.
And because we happened to be filming this video on the last day of the month, we were fortunate enough to see the earnings call. Another unusual aspect of host clubs is that at the end of the month, they tally up all of the earnings of the hosts and rank the top 5. Publicly. But before they announced it, they had another champagne call, and there was a bit of an interesting gimmick at the club where every single champagne call would go up in cost until the ranking was announced, basically encouraging the customers, if they wanted their host to go up in the ranking, to give more money. A lot of the time, the hosts tell the customers that their dream is to go up in the rankings or to be a more successful host, and the customers can do that by buying a more expensive champagne call. And this champagne call was very long.
That was like 20 minutes. More people showed up to that than my birthday.
And of course, Reito, our #1 host, continued to be the #1 host, to nobody's surprise. And for some reason, they decided I would award him the trophy.
I'm here to award the #1 host. Spoiler alert, it's not me.
And I don't know why, but they shoved a microphone in my face again.
Oh, no. お酒大好き行きましょう。飲みましょうか。
And after the show was all said and done, it was time for the store to start closing, where we got the chance to ask Reito a few more questions.
ホストクラブって1時で終わるところが多いんですか？
そうです。基本的にはもう1時です。
なんで一時？
国のルールというか、結構厳しいなルールで。
Reito mentioned something really interesting. The laws are a little strange, because hostess clubs, which is guys paying to talk to girls, can be open until any hour they please, but host clubs, where girls have to pay to talk to guys, have to close at 1. If you do want to learn way more about host clubs in depth, there is a fantastic video called The Dark Reality of Japanese Host Clubs that I highly recommend watching. Link in the description down below.
Do any of the other customers ever get jealous if you spend more time with another customer?
めちゃめちゃあります。
本当に？
Yeah, they use the jealousy to make the customer spend more money. Great for business, but maybe not so good for humanity.
いろんなビジネスに 使えるんですよ、ホストクラブのやり方っていうのは。
超面白い。
ホストの方引退の時期って大体決まってるのかな。
いや、大体30ぐらいじゃないですかね。でも
早いですね。
Indeed, this is not a long-term profession. Hosts know that in this industry where looking young is invaluable, your body might not be a big fan of smashing 24 cans of beer a night, which is why most hosts will treat their jobs as stepping stones for their future careers.
Did you ever want to do another job before you found hosting?
不動産とかやりたい。
不動産
リアステート
不動産なんかホストと似てるのかなと思ったりとかして。
I guess you're selling different things. Land yourself.
ちょっとお客様一旦返してきます。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
But it is kind of sad hearing them be like, yeah, we kind of weaponize jealousy. We use that to get more money.
It was interesting. A lot of them found the hosts like, on YouTube, like social media.
Everyone we spoke to said they found them through social media, which is different from how when I first came to the host club, it was mainly about offering nomihodai for like an hour. You know, getting all the people, customers in. Now it doesn't seem that way. It seems more like the customers are coming in because they've seen it on social media.
Oh, I saw you on YouTube. I want to see him in person.
The business model has shifted and adapted.
So
it's very
it's going
interesting.
to be really good for you.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm not really sure how to end this video. Host clubs are a bit of a weird spot in Japan's culture, and after filming at this host club, I really had a fun time, but I'm still left feeling slightly somber about them. It is no hidden secret that Japan's newer generations have been struggling with intimacy and relationships in general, owed in part to societal pressures and a focus on education and careers. Host clubs feel like such a prime example of how Japan decides to offer a band-aid solution to a bigger festering issue. Being there in the host club, it is honestly easy to succumb to the energy. It's intoxicating, drinks are flowing and the conversations are non-stop. But I just can't help but feel heavy-hearted knowing it all means nothing. None of the relationships are real, none of the personalities are real, and none of the words said mean anything. It's a fleeting moment of joy that comes with a big financial burden for customers. And so at best, I think that host clubs can be a harmless night out of fun, and at their worst, the dark side of Japan, with long-lasting consequences for customers who dedicate their time and money to those who see them as nothing more than a customer. And so I'm just left feeling that Ouran High School Host Club lied to me constantly. This is nothing like a host club.